Now, the reason why I couldn't give Ray any credit is because my first 2 years, especially my first year in the league, so in 1997, I went to the Baltimore Ravens, right, undrafted. I get there, and it was almost like as if Will had a sign on his chest to where it's like, do not touch Ray Lewis. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, this is unfair. Y'all get to punish me every snap, but we can't hit you. So for a long time, Ray and I, we always had that. And so once I got to Kansas City, I couldn't wait, because I knew every trick in the book that Ray was going to have on that day. And so that's why when we faced the Ravens, we got those W's every time.
And speaking of that guy, the first time I ever met Ray Lewis, we was on a fishing trip, me, Derek Thomas, and Deion Sanders. We was out in the ocean, and this guy jumps on a boat, and we didn't know who he was. It was just Ray, because Derek invited him to the trip. And he never fished. The whole time we was out there 2.5 hours, he did sit-ups and he did push-ups, and he never was in the league.
What?
And I said, I have no idea who you are, but the harder you working, you will be there.
Yes.
So he had a great work ethic before he even got in the league.
Oh, that's good.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
can't even
good.
fish? Can't take the time to fish, I guess? No,
Yeah,
got to
can't
work
take
out.
fish. We can do a sit-up and a push-up.
That's nuts. That's nuts. All right, I want to ask about what it means to be a Kansas City Chief. Like, what embodies that? What characteristics come with that? And what's expected of you as a Kansas City Chief?
Well, I mean, for me, it's like when I got drafted, it was a lot of high expectation because I went second overall in the draft. So when you go first and the second guy off the board, a lot of high expectation is developing you, and you really have to have a mindset that, you have to go in and work, for whatever you're going to get out of it. And, the first year was really awful. But back in the 90s, when we got Coach Schottenheimer, and of course you got Carl Peterson when the first movement started, they drafted, Derek Thomas was one of their first draft, and then went on from there. We became a hell of a team, and we put the foundation down. And once the foundation was down, we kind of got an offensive guy. We had an identity that we have a great defense. We have a great offense where we'll smash mouth you, or however you wanted to approach us, we will come in and make it happen. So to me, it's the next step from being a young man to growing into a band, to where how you're going to handle yourself both on the field and off the field. What are you going to do when you're in your community, and how the people going to accept you? And that's how I've always approached it, and just to still have my teammates that still live here, and the ones that's not, when they come in town, you can go golfing with them, you still can hang out with them and do the other things.
So it's a family for sure.
Absolutely.
What about you, Will?
For here, it was the simple fact of opportunity, giving you a chance to come in and prove yourself. They didn't have to give you an opportunity, but you getting to where you are and what they said they needed, and then you're saying, okay, I'm going to go and try to prove myself, and saying this is where I need to be, this is what I want to be. But then learning the history of what they have done over the years and how he sort of bogarted his way into getting his team put in and everything else. It was really cool to be able to sit there with, at one point we're sitting there with Bobby Bell and different greats, and we're sitting here listening to them tell their story of, hey, at one point I couldn't play here, and this guy broke the barrier. He changed the way you can do things. He gave you those opportunities. And so it was one of those organizations where you look at it and go, man, this is pretty sweet. I get a chance to sort of work my way into doing something unique and special, but then you have a brotherhood from that point forward for the rest of your life.
And that's got to be top down, right? I mean, Lamar Hunt changed everything with the game, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Priest? What's it mean to be a Kansas City Chief?
Lamar was very instrumental in me arriving to the Kansas City Chiefs along with Dick Vermeil. But even outside of that, I just go back to just thinking of Will and also thinking of Neil. Just as a former player, I had a chance to follow, to watch, and learn from Will all those years that I played. But for Neil, as a former player, I didn't get a chance to ever play with Neil, but I got a chance to build a friendship with him after, post-football. And so at the end of the day, man, I think that's all what it's all about, that you continue those relationships, that the way that you come in, you can always leave out a different way. And I think I've left with some really great relationships, great friendships, and I'm really proud of what these guys are doing. And so, Will, I know in particular, we were touching on different topics, but there's a committee that I believe that we briefly talked about, man. There's a new award that's going to be rolling out this year. And so you
Yeah.
want to share a little bit about it?
Well, we actually finally we get a offensive lineman award. It's called the Protector of the Year award.
Yes. Finally.
Mr. Smith.
I like that.
Finally.
I'm not mad at that. I'm gonna clap to that.
You know,
The big guys need their awards.
there's
man.
been
I
a
get
lot
it.
of MVPs that are quarterbacks and defensive tackles, and the more sacks you get, that kind of stuff, you at least get in the running. But they've never had an offensive lineman get in the running, so we had to go create our own award that we actually can give to our guys. But it's really cool. There's like 5 or 6 of us that's on the committee. There is a percentage of plays that the guys have to play, and we are actually going to go and study film and grade them and put it together to where we get a chance to show our big guys some love, give them an opportunity to say that, hey, you're the cream of the crop for this year, the best of the best of what you're doing, so we can get other guys to sort of emulate that, because it's not the glorified position. So you've got to do the grunt work to get there, but we want to give them a little honor of saying, hey, great job, we appreciate it, and then set it up for the next year.
Well, Coach Madden started that, and he should have just kept on going with
Yeah,
those Madden
yeah.
when he had the Madden Awards, and he would just love the linemen. He don't care what way he was dressed, and his pants was down. And he was measuring the sweats of the pants, who was working the hardest. So I get that offensive lineman. That's well deserved. It should be. They don't get a lot of. The name only get called when they're holding.
Or
That's every
offside.
play when they're offside.
Yeah.
Almost every play. When they make a good block, it's a great block, and they made a touchdown. So big hats off to the offensive line. And we all got bald heads.
Thanks. Man.
We got something in common post
We
football.
do. Something happens when you play football.
Well, okay, so Will, you mentioned you're back in the film room for this,
Yeah.
right? You're watching tape again.
Yeah.
When you watch tape and you watch games today, how much has the game changed since you guys have all retired? And do you think your style of play, your particular style of play, how would it fare in today's NFL?
Well, I think coaches just change the name of certain plays. They're all similar. They're all different things that you do. Only thing different today is that they've finally learned a way to run the option in professional football, and they call it RPOs. So it's run pass option, and basically we used to call them check with me's. The simple thing of changing one play to another. Now they just do it in different ways where the quarterback can either throw it or leave it. And what makes it hard for offensive linemen, if it's a true RPO, I can't just go and hit this guy and try to move him 5 yards. Because if I slip off of him and he throws the pass, you're down the field. So you sort of create some of that non-aggressiveness. So I can't be as aggressive as I want to. And it's not like we go out and call a power. I know I'm pulling, I'm hitting the linebacker. Priest is coming downhill, and he's getting the ball. If we run a certain power and it's an RPO, I got to sort of tiptoe till I make sure he has the ball, and that makes it hard. So that's the only really difference in the change. And certain teams have to commit to go, hey, this game we're going to beat up people and we're going to run the ball, and I'm calling all run plays, which is very rare that you see anymore. So that's what makes it hard.
Well, I'm very shocked. I'm very shocked of you, not saying that you couldn't adjust and you will adjust, but the bottom line is this: holding is holding. You can still hold. Way back then.
Holding is different now, because as long as you're inside of the frame.
But that's the same rules, right?
Yeah, and the last team you played with was very good at it. Your guys were very good at it. You mastered it. They mastered it very well, because I know your O-line coach. He taught them well. Alex was good at that. But that's the whole point of you can play at any time. I mean, the thing of it is, it's just line play doesn't change a whole lot. It's just understanding footwork, balance, and knowing where you're going to go with the ball.
Breaking news from Bet365. New customers, Priest, $5. You just bet that and you can get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So sign up, place a bet for $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose.
Bonus bets can be used on the spread, player props, futures, and so much more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. Or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 21 plus only. 18 plus in Kentucky. Please gamble responsibly, and you must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, and Kentucky, as well as Louisiana and select parishes. Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. $10 minimum deposit required. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
This has been a Playmaker production.